Hello students, how are you? I hope you're fine. Good. This program is brought to you by City Government of Addis Ababa Education Bureau in collaboration with Addis Media Network. This is grade 5 English language home tutorial class. It is presented by Abdullah Govana. Students, do you remember what we have learned in the previous class? Nice. In the previous class, we've talked about asking for and giving direction. Asking for and giving directions. Okay, students, I think you have some information about this concept because we have learned it in the previous lesson. Asking for means if you are not sure, if you don't know the place where you are going, if you are lost, you have to ask for what? For direction. Isn't it? Sure. For example, when we said here, asking for direction, we can use some expressions just like, where is? How can I get? Can you tell me? Or tell me or show me. And also maybe you can say here, sorry, would you show me the way to, and so forth. By using this and others and the like expressions, we can ask for directions. Look, where is Awash Bank? When you said, just you are asking for the direction. And also, how can I get to the Columbus Hospital? And there's another one is here. Can you tell me or show me can be asked in such ways. Sorry, would you show me or tell me, or maybe you can ask in another expressions. What about giving direction? If you want to give direction, you can use some expressions just like giving direction. Directions here. You can say, go ahead. Go ahead. Take a taxi. Turn left or right. Sorry, I'm new. I'm afraid I can't tell you. You can use such kinds of expression to give the direction, okay? If you are interested or if you are accepting the request, you can say, go ahead, turn right, turn left, and it can be said here, sorry, I'm new for this area. If you are new or maybe if you don't know the direction, you can use such kinds of expressions. Good student. So, today we are going to learn about the past continuous tense. About past continuous tense. Continuous tense. I hope you have some information about past continuous tense. So, at the end of our today's lesson, you are going to describe the function of past continuous tense. And then you are going to write or maybe change positive sentence into their negative form and their interrogative form. Is it clear? Bravo. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to write sentence and then do different activities. I hope you're ready. Bravo. So, students, what is past continuous tense means? What is past tense? Past tense. Then, what is past continuous tense? A student, within few seconds, within 30 seconds, please tell this one to your parents. Students' parents, please help them. Bravo. I hope you did it. You have told to your parents. So, what does it mean past tense here? Yes? Past tense means, as its name indicates, something happened. Happened in the past. In the past. And completed there. So what about past continuous tense? Past continuous tense is used to describe. Used to describe the actions which or that were happening or going on at a specific time in the past. In the past. Look, for example, one, she was watching TV. Watching TV with her sister. Let me give another example. They were playing. They were playing volleyball. Come on, students. Now, we're going to identify the subject, the verb, and maybe the receiver of the action in this sentence. So here, look, she, when we say she, this one the subject, isn't it? What about they? This one is also the subject. Come on here. We use was here because she is third person singular. Or we're talking about something which is one. Okay? So, she was watching TV with her sister. In this sentence, you can simply identify the form of positive past continuous tense or affirmative of past continuous tense. Here is this one. What about they here? They is plural, okay? Two or more persons. So, what about where here? Where is used with? If the subject is you we, they. Okay? So here is the subject. So this one is where. Then this one is verb ing. Verb ing. What about this here? The object. Come on. So in this sentence, the action was taking place in the past. Okay? The action was taking place in the past. At that time, there was what? Progress. Or there were something going on. Don't forget here. So, what the form from this sentence? You can simply derive the form from the given sentence. Here is the form. Look. I said she was. So, she is the subject. Or, they is what? Subject. Then, was. And what? Or, where. Because if the subject is plural, we have to use where. Then, plus verb ing. Verb ing. If necessary, we can add what? Object. We can add object here. I hope it's clear, yeah? Bravo. So, in this sentence, maybe let me give you some concept about subject, verb, and object here. When we say we, you, they, should be followed with what? It should be followed with where. Plus verb ing. Verb ing means the verb which takes what? Ing to show progress or continuity. Plus verb ing. Look, we used here they. So we took what? Where. Because this one is plural pronoun. What about if it is singular? Just like she, he, and I, and also we can say here it. What if the subject is she, he, I, and it? It should be followed with that. Was. Was plus verb ing. Verb ing. Then, if necessary, we can add what? Object. But to make sentence, if we don't want to use object, it's possible. To make it clear, it is better if you use what? Object in the sentence. Okay? Bravo, I hope this one is clear for you. So, now it's time. It's time to do this activity. Activity 1. Make sentence. Make sentence. Sentence using these personal pronouns. Personal pronouns. The tense should be in past continuous tense. Should be in past continuous tense. In past continuous. Number 1. He. Number 2. We. Number 3, I. Number 4, you. Students, to make the sentence, we have to remember about the form that we've talked earlier. Okay? Students, parents, please let the students work and encourage their attempt. Okay, do it. You have only 1 minute. Well done. Bravo. I hope you did it because it is very simple. When we say the sentence, just we are doing what? The positive sentence or affirmative. Okay? Since it is affirmative, it should be followed with he was. Look, he was. Yes? Maybe you can say then he was watching. He was watching TV. This one is the example. Yours can be right if you're following this structure. What about we? We were washing. We were washing clothes. What about I? Can we say I was or I were here? I was. I was eating my breakfast. Breakfast. What about you? You were? You was. You were. You were reading for the test. Look, all the sentences are the sentence which happened in the past, but for a specific time in the past, there were what? In progress, or there were continuity. Because here is verb energy, here is verb energy, here is also. So it shows what? The event or the actions were ongoing. Nice student. Now it is time to talk about negative sentence. Negative sentence. Sentence in past continuous tense. Past continuous tense. Look, this one is very simple. Because when we say negative, we mean that not. Okay? Not. We have to put the word not in the sentence. For example, to make it clear, let me give you an example which shows positive. Then we can change into negative, okay? We can say here, Stephen was reading in the library. In the library. Look, Stephen was reading in the library. So, how can we change this sentence into, yes, negative form? Bravo. Come on here. Subject should be here. Then was, yes, the next one should be not. Was not reading. Was not reading in the library. Look. So, we change this one into negative form. Which shows negative? Not. We simply add not. Here the subject is the same, the position is the same, but we add a not between verb to be and verb energy. So, let's go to the next example. They were playing outside. This one is positive sentence or affirmative. So how can we change this one into negative? According to this one, we have to change into negative by simply adding not. They were, yes, not. Look, not playing outside. I hope I'm clear. Good. Look here. So which ones are negative markers? Not. Now it is time to derive the form from the given sentence. The form. So, here is the subject. Sifan is subject here. This one is affirmative. Affirmative or positive sentence. This one is negative sentence. What about this? This is also affirmative sentence. Affirmative means the positive, where this one is the negative one. So, now it is time to go to the form. Here is the subject. The form of what? Negative sentence. Subject. So, here should be subject plus, subject plus was not or were not plus verb ing. Look, here is the subject. Here is where was. Here is where because the subject is not singular. Was not, were not plus verb ing. That's a form. So what about this? If the subject is I, she, he, and it. So we have to use what? Was not. Plus, yes, verb ing. Verb ing means the verb which shows progress. What if the subject is we, you, and they? Yes, look here. If the subject is we, you, and they, we have to put what? Plus were not. You were not, we were not, they were not, plus verb ing. Look, students. So from the sentence, we derived what? The form easily. So don't worry, because you can get the form from the given sentence. I hope it's clear. Isn't it? Bravo. Now it is time to do an activity. Are you ready? Students, parents. I hope you're following them. Thank you. Okay, come on. Activity 2. Change this positive sentences into negative sentence. I hope you're with me. I hope you are writing, okay? Get question number 1. We were visiting our uncle. Number 2. Helen was writing her homework. Number 3. Alma's aunt Almaz and Thomas were reading in the school. Okay, students, now it is time to change this one into their negative forms. I hope you're ready, yeah? Please do it just for 1 minute. Perfect. You did it. Nice. So, let's go to the answer. Check whether you are right or wrong. Here, the first one is just given in what? Affirmative, isn't it? This one is affirmative or positive sentence. We will change them into negative. Look, we were. Since we are changing into their negative forms, the subject should be on the simplest. So we have to say what? We. Then verb to be also should be there. It may not be changed. Okay? We were. Then plus what? Negative markers, not. We were not or we weren't is possible. Visiting our uncle. Look, I turned this one into negative by simply adding not here. Helen was writing her homework. Hello? Here. We can say here, Helen, yes, was. Helen was not writing her homework. Am I right? Good. So, Almaz and Thomas were reading in the school. The subject should be written just as it is. Almaz and Thomas were not, because they are two, were not reading in the school. I hope you did like this. Bravo. If you didn't do like this, please try to read again and again. You can be perfect, okay? Nice. Now it is time to go to what? Interrogative. Interrogative in past continuous tense. So I hope you have some information about interrogative. Interrogative means, in other ways here, I mean that question. Okay? Question. Just at the end of such kinds of sentence, we have to use question mark. Am I right? Bravo. Come on, students here. Okay. Let me give you some examples of interrogative sentence. Example. Was she Was she going to market? Question mark. Were you here? Were you cooking the meal or the food? Another maybe you can say here, were they talking? Were they talking with their father? Look, students. Now here are three examples. It should be full. Question mark. So now we are going to identify the function here. Was, where. We started from verb to be. Okay. It depends on the subject. If the subject is I, she, he, and it, we have to start from was. Am I right? Bravo. If you, maybe the subject is you, we, and they, or two or more than subjects, so you have to use what? Where? At the beginning of the sentence. So then, here is the subject. Verb ing. Here is the subject. Verb ing. The subject, verb ing. That this one can be said, object or complement. Students, please, let me give you the chance to derive the form from this sentence. Because we have done the first one, okay? The second part has been done. So, what about this one? You have 30 seconds to derive the form of interrogative in past continuous tense. Do it, please. Nice. Nice, student. Come on. The form. Look. When I say the form, I mean here, the word, what we wrote here is the form itself. Was plus subject. What kinds of subject is it? What kinds of subject should be here? Yes. She, he, I, it and I here. She, he, it, I. So then, plus, yes please, verb ing. Verb ing. If necessary, you can add complement or object. At the end of this sentence, there should be question mark. Because this one is about asking question, okay? Bravo. So what about if the subject is you, we, and they? Look, we have to say here, where, then, what? You. Again, we, and they. Don't forget. The subject should be started with a small letter if they are not noun and if they are not the name of the person or the name of the country and so forth. Just if they are personal pronoun, we have to start with a small letter. Then plus verb ing, and at the end of such sentence there should be question mark. Here are the examples. I hope it's clear. Let's summarize what we have learned today. Today we have talked about past continuous tense. Past continuous tense means the tense which shows something which were happening at a specific time in the past. At that time, there was what? Ongoing or progress. There was continuity mean, isn't it? And also we talked about positive, negative, and question form of past continuous tense. I hope I'm clear. Bravo, student. See you.